press it. It came from Tijuana, but I had to scratch it. Cartel affiliations, man, they come with side effects. I'm talking pull up to the plug in a private jet. I'm talking numbers so low, it got me cheesy. Blowing money like trees, big Nietzsche. I'm dropping good game on your big peaches. I just screw up, track the trailer, free reefer. Side effect, strike first, Grim Reaper. Desert Eagle, 4-5, street sweeper. Like Gucci, really see dead people. I mean, really, man, I see dead people. Body found, don't make it a sequel. Side effect, me and you are not equal. Growing up, I did so evil. Yesterday, half a meal for 2 features. One in the streets, we ain't equal. If I get caught, I see no evil. A side effect, I bought a brick and 2 beepers. How you snitching on nigga that feed you?
How you gonna snitch?
A side effect, get rich, they turn evil.
Turn evil.
Is that a car? Is that a plane? No, that's a creature.
That's a creature. Yeah. Episode 61. A-League Show. Fellas, what's up, man? I missed y'all, man.
We
You know what I mean? I missed y'all,
How
man.
was it?
You
How
know what
was
I mean?
it up
I got on the
there?
plane, I was crying, I had one tear.
One tear?
Stewardess was like, yo, sir, would you like a drink? And I was like, no, get out my face. Okay,
Wow.
get out my face, bro. I miss y'all boys, man. A-League Show, man. We back.
Did you
Dash
fly
Radio.
from LaGuardia or did you fly from JFK?
No, LaGuardia.
LaGuardia?
Which is
Oh,
nice. I
LaGuardia.
went to LaGuardia, which is a little wild.
I have so many horror stories about LaGuardia.
Okay.
I could spend a whole show, a whole 1 hour, talking about horror stories of LaGuardia.
It's small. That's a small airport. That's
it's
why.
small. It's congested.
Yes.
It's
Yes. Yeah.
That's why I'm Team JFK.
Okay. I mean, JFK is so much further. That's like going towards Jersey, right? Isn't that closer to Jersey?
No, that's in Queens.
That's in Queens?
Yeah, JFK.
I thought LaGuardia was closer to Manhattan. Like,
Yeah, LaGuardia is close to
Okay.
Manhattan. JFK's out in Queens, and then you got Newark, which is in Jersey.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
see, I went to LaGuardia because it's closest, but it is small. You know, a little wild in there.
Yeah,
but
lot wild.
But it was a great trip though. I'm happy to be back, y'all. Y'all straight? Everybody good? David, yo. Rashad, yo. Jeremy, yo. Yeah, you. Yeah, you wore a UGA sweater because we're gonna talk about that signing day later on. But all right. But look, first off,
We just need to talk about UGA. They're gonna win.
That is the whole signing day.
Oh
That is
yeah,
the
they're
whole
gonna
signing day,
win,
really, though,
and
yeah.
then they're gonna go on to the national championship. Go Dogs! Go Dogs!
wait. When did he become a dog fan? Like, I've been gone that long.
Dog world.
It's the dog.
We better get a UGA. I want a UGA Clemson national championship game. If it's Bama, Oklahoma, I'm not watching.
Okay. I'm kind of with you on that, too, though. I don't want to see them in the final. I'll be straight up with you. I'm actually silently pulling for UGA. It's
on the back. It's
it's very silent. It's on the beginning. What does that mean? Yeah.
You become a Georgia fan. Eventually, you all become Georgia.
The last time.
I've seen the future. No
yeah,
chance.
I said, yeah. Look. Let's get into our first topic, fellas. The JBA. All right, the JBA. Y'all excited about this league?
Ball
here?
control.
Ball control. Hey, real quick. Shout out to your boy Lonzo, who's been hooping it up the last 6 games. Lonzo's been on a run.
24 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists last night against the
4 for 4.
world champions. 4 for 4
From
in
3.
The first quarter, and from 3-point line. Boy, hey, the shot's starting to work, man. Shot's starting to fall. Lonzo's starting to do his thing, but Kuzma, come on now.
That's
You
still the
can't
best
be disrespectful.
That's still the best Laker, right?
Kuzma balling out, 27 points,
Okay.
14 rebounds last night. The other night he had like 37.
He had 30 on the Rockets, on their head.
Shout out to Kuzma.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Got to show respect.
I'm
Shout
proud
out
of the Lakers. The Lakers
John
look good.
Collins. Shout out John Collins. This is the A-League.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think he got 11 points a game, averaging over 60% from the field. You know what I'm saying?
He dunking
So,
everything.
You know, shout out John Collins. Shout out to everybody getting it done. You know what I'm saying?
Jordan
A-League,
Bell,
we out here.
all the late picks, man. Jordan Bell,
But-
shout out to him.
You know, but back to Eric, man. Hey, dog, if you miss us after we gone,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know my last, bro. I don't know, man.
Like Joe Budden, who we gonna talk about later.
Oh,
I
man,
was
we gotta
watching
get into
the Joe Budden podcast, and at the
man.
end, like Joe Budden talking about 40 minutes of all the bad stuff that happened to him at Complex. At the end of the 40 minutes, Maul said, "All right, you done?"
He vented like I didn't even listen to that.
He's like, "I knew you wasn't gonna laugh." Yeah, that's
Bro.
exactly how it is. Like,
Nah, I missed the A-League, man.
If you miss Atlanta and the A-League after a week, bro, I don't know, man.
It's gonna be a long.
But we gonna have Eric calling in. It's gonna
There we
sound
go.
like prison. Don't worry, back
gonna
at
sound
home.
like
You know what I'm saying? This is our first episode. Shout out to YouTube. We putting it on YouTube, so we'll see how this works.
Oh, that's what that. Yeah, we got the camera in this thing, man. What's happening?
Oh, that's what it is.
We got the camera in this thing. Okay.
Look out.
All right. So, JBA, what y'all thinking? What's y'all thoughts on this thing? I'm eating a pear right now. I should have waited a couple of days for it 'cause it's not ready. But
You
anyway.
can see it
Yeah.
because we're on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah. No, but what do y'all think about this league, man? What do y'all think about this league? Is it a good idea? Is it gonna work? Is it gonna take a while to work? What are y'all thoughts on it? LeVar Ball taking a risk here, or is it really a risk? Go ahead.
I think it's really dumb.
Okay. All right. Okay.
You know, I've been a supporter of what they're doing as a family, you know, but
As you should.
I mean, I don't know, this is just another excuse, you know, I'm really tired of seeing him make excuses for his kids because he makes excuses for them and then he says, well, it's not your fault. They should have done this way, or they should have done this way. So now this just gives them another out to run and hide when stuff goes wrong instead of actually dealing with an issue.
You mad about the stealing thing?
I'm mad about all of it.
Okay,
It's not
all
just
right.
not just a stealing thing. Like with the Lakers, okay, Lonzo's playing bad, but it's everybody's fault but Lonzo. LiAngelo, you know, the stealing thing. LaMelo, okay, well the coach isn't using him right, so let's take him out of school.
Okay. The list.
Oh, yeah, I mean it's a list of stuff where you know, I don't know.
This is a.
It's weak. It looks really weak, and I don't really want to see this. I don't like kids should go to school, develop their game. And everybody's not good enough to play in the NBA. That's a fact.
No, that's true.
So
That's very true.
why do we
Very
need,
small percentage of
Why do
the
we
league.
need a league to put a bunch of average or guys who think they're going to play NBA basketball that probably are just average players anyway to go play in this league? Like what are they gaining by this?
Well, the thing, okay, but we complain like constantly about how like NCAA is like doing these kids wrong.
I got
And then somebody got a chance.
words.
Then
Jeremy, stay in your
there you
lane.
go. You don't mess with the wrong.
Stay
one.
in your lane,
That's his
boy.
That's not my boy. That's his boy. Okay.
How many of these kids you know going to class? Let me tell you personal stories, all right? I done grew up with a bunch of hoopers because I used to play, you know, back in the days. You know what I'm saying? You know where most of those kids happen? What happened to most of those kids, excuse me, they didn't have the grades in high school, so they ended up going to a JUCO. In the JUCO, they ended up getting kicked out or they dropped out because they got caught with smoking weed.
Whose fault is that?
It's the students. That's what I'm saying. The students don't care.
It's not my
Ben
fault.
Simmons did not want to go to class because he knew.
The athletes
Ben
don't care.
Simmons was the guy who
you
probably-
You know
he
what are
knew.
the requirements for the one and done guys? They have to take at least, I think it's like 6 college credits in the fall. It's something like that. So you could take PE
Yep.
and music and whatever it takes to get the 6 credits. And then you can withdraw from your classes in the spring semester. You don't even have to take it to remain eligible for the rest of the season.
They said John Wall had
So,
4
I
PE
mean,
classes.
It-
David, what's up? No, go ahead.
So it's like, and then when the kids are actually in class, some of them be cheating. So it's like,
Oh, hell yeah.
and then the ones that want to finish, a la R.J. Hunter, Vince Carter, Marvin Williams, Kevin Durant, them boys, they almost force them to go back to school in between, you know, NBA seasons. So it's like, the ones that want to get college done, they'll get college done. But don't act like education is important now when it was never important to the kids in the first place.
Okay, I mean, that's a fair argument, but everybody ain't John Wall. Everybody's not Kevin Durant. Everybody's not these guys.
But that's what this is for, right?
I mean,
it's supposed to be the best players.
I mean, it's
The
not.
top recruits.
It's not going to be
Question,
them.
though.
Like, those
Question,
guys are going to go to college.
Question, though.
regardless of what,
Question,
of
though.
what you
Question,
say.
though.
Hold
they're
on,
going
hold
to
on.
college. Those guys are going to still go to college, play their
Yes.
1 year, and go pro.
Yes.
That's not going to change just because Big Baller Brand created a league. Nobody wants to play for him. I don't think many people like
Well,
them.
first of all, they got to get sponsored and all that kind of stuff, the funding and all that. They got to figure that out. But this is supposed to be an alternative to going overseas because everybody. That's another thing. We can't just act like everybody can just go overseas. Oh, going overseas is like that's a complete lifestyle change.
You're
everybody's
leaving your
not.
family at
Everybody's
18
not
years
ready
old.
for that.
They're
So
not,
that's
right.
another thing. So it's expensive as hell. So everybody can't just go overseas and be like, all right, I'll come back in here. Like it doesn't work that easy over there. So this is another alternative. Other than the D League, yes, there is the D League. Everybody's making the jokes that the D League is here. So this is pretty much kind of the same as that. And they pretty much LeVar really pays along the same lines as the D League. It's not too much of a difference. D League people don't get no cash. That's why most people go overseas. So honestly, for a year, for just a year of your life to avoid being used by NCAA. You can't even get jerseys, and you can't even get the profit from the jerseys they selling off you, all that kind of stuff. This is just 1 year. You play, I don't know what, 30, 40 games maybe they're gonna play, travel a little bit. What did he say, like 4 or 5 cities, right?
Yeah.
And then you play, and you go and you scouts at every single game. You're playing against competition that is along the same lines. You're not wasting your time. A lot of these dudes in college be wasting their time playing against people who come on. Like Trae Young is wasting his time right now.
Well, what
Like
I'm saying,
Mo Bamba is wasting his time right now. They're all wasting their time right now because they're playing with people who can't even. First of all, I watch DeAndre Ayton and I love it, but I'm like, I look at the people around him. I'm like, these. I almost did it. I almost did it.
We're talking like a Jersey person already, aren't you, Eric?
No, but I'm talking about they're playing with people who can't even get them the ball and like the correct, who can't even do like a simple like left-handed. You always say left-handed layup like baseball. I'm talking about, but like that's you, that's him. I'm just saying, but like they're playing with people who really can't even. They're not even close to their level. And I'm like, yo, these dudes are wasting their time. Colin Sexton, the young bull,
But-
is wasting his time with some of the people he's playing with. I'm
But
like,
who
why?
who is he gonna be playing with if they play in this league?
They said it's the 80 best high school seniors.
So you mean to tell me that there are 80 players ready to go to the NBA? There ain't but 60
No.
picks in the draft.
Okay, here's where I'm gonna go with you. What happens after 1 year and some of those people don't get drafted? That's the fair point. I
Now
know.
they don't have
I don't
college.
know what happens.
that
They come
happens
back.
already.
They come
What
back.
are you guys
They
like?
come back. No,
Okay,
they got-
okay. We're talking about the top high school recruits in the nation, right?
Yes.
Half of them work out, half of them don't.
Yeah.
What do the other half do after college?
They can come back.
They go overseas and play professionally.
I mean, y'all.
and they play ball for as long as they can because they don't know anything else but ball.
Well, that's,
So this
that's
is a
their fault.
one-shot deal, right? For that's what we're thinking. This whole league, JBA, is a 1-year deal, pretty much, right? Because if you don't maximize your potential in 1 year, that's when I want to know what happens after that. And they're gonna help you. I mean, you say overseas, but most of these kids ain't gonna just want to go overseas.
Now-
They're like,
now-
hey,
now-
can I go to the D League? Can I go
Okay,
here? Can I
Now,
go
okay.
here?
colleges say, hey,
yeah.
you guys can come to college afterwards. Cool. Now, if they're able to work that out, where hey, you don't necessarily even get paid. Just come here, play. You don't have to go play for a college. You get stipend money or scholarship money, just to put in your bank account just in case. And you're not making actual money. And then if you don't make it in the league, you come back to college. I'll be okay with that.
Okay, yeah.
The thing I'm saying is, it's like people folks is tripping over this, but it's like what is the percentage of kids that had the J. Cole story where they went to college to play, right? They went to college to
Sideline
play and they
story.
was like, man, I don't even want to pay attention to class. I'm just here for basketball.
Yes.
And then since they had the scholarship, they eventually finished all 4 years and got their degree. What are the percentages of that? If student athletes in the nation.
You brought up Marvin and all the people who came back.
That don't like school. I mean, but those kids, they mamas was like, you gonna get a
gonna finish
degree.
school.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, you gonna finish.
Or they promised their moms they were gonna finish with a degree, so they went back and got a degree in between seasons.
Literally,
Jared Jack, shout out Jared Jack.
literally Georgia's whole basketball team is this. So y'all telling somebody who I've seen this play out. Like, okay, for example, there's a kid named Jawan Parker. I don't think he was really highly recruited, but he developed his game. He's a starter and has been a starter for 2 or 3 years now.
But you're talking about but do you know if he likes class?
I don't know if he likes class. but
Exactly.
I know
How many-
he's gonna have opportunities after he gets done with basketball.
What I'm saying is,
Right.
how many of these kids that absolutely, if you hate class and school enough
Suck it up.
to where you grew up, I mean, but there is no suck it up if you don't like it. You just drop out.
I don't
or
like
you're gonna
class.
get caught with
I hated
or something
school,
like
bro.
that. And you're gonna get kicked out.
There are lots of people that didn't necessarily like class, but it was one of those issues where they absolutely had to go to class because like you said, they were drilled down, and that whole idea of education, that was something that was drilled down in these kids from the time they were in elementary school, telling them to go to school. But then all of a sudden they grow up, and then they get a ball in their hand, and that's when all of a sudden stuff starts changing. So I see exactly where you're coming from for that.
You're a professional.
I
At the
know.
end of the day, once you get a basketball in hand, like you just said, you're a professional. Like your mindset is professionally thinking. You're thinking that this is where my path is gonna take me. That's okay. Like everybody doesn't have to go to school and finish school. And we always say all the time, college ain't for everybody. Don't we always say that?
I mean-
so it's the truth. Like it goes for everybody.
No.
But now college is apparently
they treat them as professionals.
my bad.
And then that's the thing, they treat
college
them as professionals.
is now the most important thing in the world. Now all of a sudden that
No,
LeVar
no,
Ball
it's
wants to
not.
do something different.
It's not. My point is LeVar Ball keeps saying, hey, don't use these kids. Don't use these kids. Don't go to a university where you're being used. Well, when you have the mindset that basketball is all you bring to the table, you're already being used by someone else. It's not just you.
They do, though. This is
But
what you
no.
do.
You're going to get to the league and you're going to be used by the league also. So what's the point?
He's
Gonna
trying
be
to
paid
get
millions.
No. But here's
You're gonna get paid millions, but the people who are owners are paying billions.
Right,
But you
right.
can't own a
You're never
franchise
gonna
as a
top
player.
that. We
Can
know
you?
that. That's how the system
right.
is. You're never gonna top.
Well,
I
yeah,
get that.
well, you
but
talking
you want,
about the
but
whole-
you
You
no,
go
no,
to college, you can
at
own a
least-
fr- you can
you
own
at
a
least want them to
franchise.
get paid. You at least want them to get. Remember, look, I'm gonna keep going back to the same story. Remember when Shabazz Napier said at UConn that he didn't have enough money to get food after trips coming back home. I know you disagree with it, but he was.
Jabari Parker said the same thing.
Dude was running out of money. Simple stuff like that. I'm just saying, like that shouldn't happen, bro. Like that's what I mean. Like if they can get paid and they can live comfortably, I don't know. Look, it's like up. He said up to 10,000. That ain't really a lot, but 10,000 what a yearly, right? We're saying for a year. Or
I mean,
what?
I agree
monthly
with you.
or what is it?
I think we should pay college
Okay.
athletes.
Pay
But
them then
my point
enough
is
so they
that
don't have to starve. At
my
least.
point is that you
if
go
LeVar
to-
can do that, I'm not mad.
LeVar is taking them out of college. LeVar can't provide them an education.
No.
No matter what he says or what he does, he can't get them an education.
Yeah, exactly.
But they need one.
But they don't want it.
That's the same thing. This is okay. We're going back to the one and done deal because the same thing is they should have the choice. If a high school kid 17, 18 wants to go jump to NBA, it's his right. Like we talk
It's his
about, this is
right, yeah.
America. It's a free. You got your own. If he fails, like my boy Sebastian Telfair did, but if he goes like that and failed, and that's it. That was his choice. At least he got the opportunity to go do that. You got to let people fail, man. I understand. You
No,
want them to
I
have a
agree with
cushion
you. I
to
agree
fall
with you.
on. You
No,
want them to
I-
have a
I
cushion,
agree
but it's
with
like
you.
this is a big sports in general. You're taking a risk, right? Y'all
yeah,
play,
yeah.
and like, y'all understand like you're taking a risk no matter what. Yeah, so it's like regardless, you got to at least give them that. That's all I care about. I understand the biggest thing about this to me. I'm gonna say it real quick. I'm sorry, David. But
That's cool.
it's like people are so like we're so you might hit on it. We're so conditioned to think like you have to go like to college, and that's the easiest path. I heard that. It's the easiest path to no, but like we so conditioned to think we gotta go to college. It's the easiest path to get to the NBA. And I know some kids are gonna be like, I saw Sharif O'Neal, Shaq's son, talk about like he's definitely going to college. He's not going to LeVar's league. And I'm like, all right, cool. But if you want the college experience, you can't like money like this league. LeVar's league's not gonna give you that. You're gonna miss out on college. So I can understand that as being an argument, but I'm just all for like giving them. This should be their choice. As a hooper who puts all their time, 24 hours into their body and what they do, you have the choice. You want to go to LeVar's league and skip all the NCAA bull that's going on. I'm okay with it. That's my last words.
I agree
We
with
shouldn't be
you.
conditioned to do this anymore. You ain't got to go to college. You shouldn't have to think you got to go to college. There's other options. That's all I'm saying.
Me personally, I want the leverage on life. I want the degree. And if you're good enough to play, in the NBA, you're gonna play in the NBA regardless of how long you're in college. So you might get hurt. You might get hurt walking down the street on the bus.
It's one of those things I feel like with that, I just think that the crux of the debate has a lot to do with, are you only going to college for the sake of wanting to play basketball, or do you have a plan after you come out of college, and after the NBA? Because we heard so many stories, and we've seen so many stories of athletes that get into the NBA. They get all this money, they get all the fame, they get the big contracts, and then out of nowhere, they end up going broke. And what was one of the reasons as to why they didn't go broke, but why they went broke, is because they didn't have a plan after basketball. So that is one of the things that I do think that is something that has to be addressed.
LeBron James, the biggest business mogul in the NBA, didn't go to college. Jabari Parker, probably one of the smartest dudes in the NBA, dropped out after 1 year, one and done. I mean, I'm just throwing it out. I don't think. Yeah. Okay. All right.
We're just talking about the others. That's fine.
But
I get it.
I'm saying, I know one player. If we're talking about highly recruited players, a star right now in college basketball. I kind of met his team a couple months ago. He had a team of grown men around him. I asked one of them. I was like, "Hey, when did you meet this dude?" They said 2 years ago. A grown man, an 18-year-old high school senior. That's kind of weird.
Fishy.
So then I was like, "Oh, so you're like his manager?" I'm just like asking, just like regular. They're like, "Well, no, because that's against NCAA violations, and it's of I'm just his friend."
So you ain't
and
get me.
I was like, "All right." He's like, "But I came up with the dude's nickname. I came up with so and so. Before I met him, he wasn't top 100. He wasn't so and so. He wasn't 5 stars or any
That's
of
an
that."
Asian right there.
And then so I was like, okay. And then like afterwards, you see his Instagram is ran by, it says operated fan account, but it has a verified check next to it. Why is a fan account verified? And then the name is the nickname, and this dude's all on YouTube. He had a YouTube shows his senior year of high school. and now they're selling merchandise with his, nickname.
He's 18.
And he's a college freshman. He's one of the biggest stars in college basketball. It's pretty obvious who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to mention any names.
I like this, though.
He's definitely a guy because the NCAA already investigated his family, and his family got in trouble, so he was suspended at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I know.
I gave it away with that. But I'm not gonna say his name. So this dude got in trouble already by the NCAA. He's definitely a guy that will go to JBA.
Yeah, okay. He would if he could.
Just to give him an extensive example.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, I just think sports is a business first, and it would not surprise me if the NBA goes back to their one and done, gets rid of the one and done rule. It's just there's too much money that's even though like they don't consider, I don't think they consider LeVar a threat, but the idea that he is something that exists, they probably peel the rule back. The G League isn't going to be enough. I think they probably pull it back, and then LeVar is just going to be in the pickle because I don't know what he's going to do. Like once guys come straight out of high school again, and he's trying to get these guys that don't want to go to college. I don't know what he's going to do. I think thing might fold.
I think that's the point of it. Like, it's gonna force them to fix a problem.
He happened to have a kid that wants to go to the NBA.
Okay, all right,
college ball,
all right. Lonzo Ball, because everybody's
Put the
saying,
pressure on him.
because everybody's saying that it's LeVar. He ain't getting in his way, so he just whining and stuff. Lonzo Ball, as a freshman, before LeVar Ball was the celebrity he is today, was openly against what the NCAA was doing to him. He was like, they're selling my likeness on these commercials and my jersey, and I can't even sign an autograph for money. And, Lonzo Ball was against it from the beginning. It's not just, the black kids in college basketball. It's also, Josh Rosen, who has a father that, was in business. He's been openly against the NCAA for his last 3 years or however long he's been at UCLA. So, I mean, you just have to look at it like that. Oh, but to your point.
No, if the JBA succeeds, that would be. No, if
they're gonna
NCAA finally changes its rules, then I think the JBA did its purpose. Even if it folds in a couple years.
Well, that's what I was trying to say.
That's
what I was trying to say.
I'm with you, yeah.
So it's like either the NBA is going to change this rule to let high school kids back in, or the NCAA is going to finally play players.
Yeah.
So
if that's the purpose, I'm fine with it.
And that means LeVar Ball's league was successful.
Yeah.
He just exposed the problem.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with y'all on that. Right? I feel honestly, I never had an issue with the high school rule. I mean, I just had an issue.
One and done?
Yeah, not the one. I don't like the one and done. I think the one and done ruins college basketball. I mean, college basketball was so much better without the one and done.
Supposed to help college basketball.
It did the opposite
Yeah.
because now the game is not as pretty as it used to be. You know what I mean?
Well,
But-
players aren't playing. Players are being careful when they're in college now.
Right,
They're still
and they-
playing hard, but they're just being like.
and they don't come to college and try to get to know the system. They come to college where I gotta be here. So
Yeah.
I don't like that part of college basketball. Like there are maybe 7 or 8 guys that have no business in college. Like Colin Sexton, Marvin Bagley, DeAndre Ayton, Mohamed Bamba. Those guys did not need college. I agree.
They're NBA
what you
players
said
today.
earlier, they're wasting their time,
They're
but they
wasting their
also needed to improve because they would just be on benches right
You
now.
need the workouts, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you need that college and
Yeah.
college coaching is obviously it's needed, it's helpful. I get that. I'm just saying
I
those
think
guys are above.
college coaching is overrated. That's what
Well,
it is.
it's a tight. Well,
They need to quit-
college
they need to
basketball
let
is a
the boys
college
play
game. It's a
sometimes.
college coach game. Like it's more than it's not about the players in college. It's about the coaches.
A guy like
Unfortunately.
Sexton though has Avery Johnson as his coach. I think that's.
I think
That's
he's a
valuable,
good
but
coach.
he could
Avery deserves to be an NBA.
He could
player.
easily be a mentor or something. You know what I mean? Like, there's ways. I think college basketball coaches are overrated. Even other than Mike, Coach K. That's the only coach that's like.
Right.
Tom Izzo's overrated.
What?
Coach K, because Coach K coached the Olympics.
All them boss that Coach K done coach. Y'all talking about he the only valuable one?
Coach
All them
K
bust.
was the Olympic coach.
I mean, it ain't about the bus. I'm talking about
He talking about Leitner.
He's
Who the buzz? Sheldon Williams.
He's a genius as far as running defenses and offenses.
You know who else he also coached? He coached LeBron James in the Olympics.
Right.
Okay.
He did that.
4 years after LeBron James was LeBron James.
He did that though. He can always brag about that. Like I coach LeBron James.
Olympic gold medal.
Yes. Hey, can you talk about it? Look, I'm just saying, coaches. No, I get it. You're trying to say they're overrated. College coaching is overrated.
College.
Right?
Okay, I'll say it a different way.
because you're saying because they don't let the players just play. The
Yeah.
college game can
They
be
gotta
ugly.
have their hands on everything. It's annoying.
College game is ugly because, like, well, we're gonna bring back to the other point, which was players don't really. They go there and they're like, well, I really can't play my game regardless.
Nolan
Like,
Smith.
They know they can't.
Seth Curry, Austin Rivers. Oh my God. The Plumlees, all of them.
Jay Will.
Oh, okay. Well,
Kyrie.
that was a motorcycle. A motorcycle
That was my
accident. You can't. You
That was
know.
my favorite college
Hey.
point guard. Shout out to Jay Will, man.
R.I.P. to Jason Williams. Man.
Yes. But it got real. No, but look, Coach K is a great coach. I don't know, you tripping on that. We're gonna talk about that another time because you think Coach K is overrated.
No, I said Coach K, other than Coach K.
Oh, other than Coach K.
Everyone else
Oh no,
other
he.
than Coach K.
I was saying.
You said Coach K.
I was like, oh no. I said.
Run
you
the-
can't-
run the
you
tape.
You can't say that he's valuable because he's coached all of these busts.
Oh, okay. But that's
Everybody's Coach Bus.
Yeah, that's
Okay, but how many busts does Duke have?
Because they have so much talent, people get drafted highly.
I just think it's one of those things where the idea of the college coach being so revered, I just think it's going out the window. It's going out the window in the NBA. It's going out the window in the NFL. It's going out the window throughout sports, I believe, because I feel like, yeah, exactly. People understand now that, you know, you need players in order to win these championships. The mystique that was built in Syracuse around Boeheim, the mystique that was built around UConn, around Jim Calhoun, that's going out the window slowly but surely. The mystique that was built around Michigan State, around Tom
I can tell you,
Izzo.
I can tell you,
Kansas with
I
Bill
hate
Self.
that. I hate that. But I could even take it another level and say Phil Jackson in the NBA.
Whoa,
Phil Jackson,
hold up.
Phil Jackson
Time out
had
on the floor.
Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and he's coached Carmelo Anthony. He's coached 3 of the best scorers in NBA history.
unfortunate,
But
he
he's
didn't win.
but he's the
If he didn't-
greatest coach ever.
he didn't
Pat
win, I
Riley.
never did love.
Pat Riley is the greatest coach ever.
What about Pop? I think Pop's the
Pop,
best
yeah,
coach.
Pop.
Bill
Pop's up there.
Belichick. Bill Belichick is the greatest coach ever because
Yeah.
I think Tom Brady's a system quarterback. I want to
yeah.
get that.
I think having Bill Belichick has helped him a lot.
You slick have a point shot because remember who was it? Matt Castle won 11 games one year with New England.
Matt
after
Castle.
Brady went
Matt
down.
Castle made the playoffs.
Jimmy Garoppolo went 2-0.
Jimmy Garoppolo won a couple games.
yeah, we can't use 2 games,
What was his
y'all.
name? The black boy that played for the Colts.
Brissett. Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett won a couple games for them Jokers.
That's a fine name.
You know what I'm saying? And then he go to Indianapolis. He don't win 1 game.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they won 1 in overtime. But you know what I'm saying? So, hey man.
Yeah, no, okay.
Exposed.
No.
I think Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time.
You saying Tom
probably
Brady couldn't do this
in
anywhere
any
else?
sport.
You think Tom Brady couldn't do what he do?
I think
He
Tom
would be a
Brady
starter.
like you have to
Oh,
see
yeah.
like his skill
yeah.
like you know the type of passes that Tom Brady makes when he squeezes this into these like tight little holes, pause.
Right.
Like you know you gotta and usually I'm anti-pause, but you know hey man.
That was just like,
come
yeah,
on,
that was
dog.
like put on a platter.
I even did this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I mean.
If we all signed to the Patriots as wide receivers, we'd all be pro wide receivers. And some of us are pretty good wide receivers already.
But Brady, he would probably be like a Pro Bowl quarterback.
He'd
probably
be Matt
like,
Ryan.
Yeah.
Damn.
He would be Matt Ryan without Bill
You just
Belichick.
said he'd be Matt Ryan?
Yeah.
Like Andy
I mean-
Dalton?
No,
think he'd be
Matt Ryan's better than Andy Dalton.
He'd be like an
Matt
above
Ryan
average
better than Andy Dalton? I
quarterback,
don't
but he
know.
wouldn't be the greatest quarterback of all time as people.
I can agree with
I
that.
think that's Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is probably the most talented quarterback ever.
By far.
Him and
Packer
John Elway.
Homer.
By far, Aaron Rodgers is the better quarterback than Tom Brady. But whatever. Yeah, you're right, Belichick.
Talented.
Where the hell were we going before that?
The point
All right.
was that
What the hell are we talking about
the
now?
point was something about high school
Okay.
and college basketball and stuff. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah,
Something
man.
else, man.
Back to our original point.
Two days before the holidays. We're all over the place.
You know what I mean? Like, come on. Go ahead, finish up. What were you trying to say, Jared?
I was trying to say, I don't really care so much about those top guys. Like
Okay.
every year there's 5 or 6 guys that don't really need college.
Okay.
But then there's also 3,000 other players that play in college basketball that actually need the education,
Of course, yeah.
even if they necessarily might not want it. Sometimes, like, okay, in later life, those guys you say they don't like it when they're working, you know, somewhere they don't want to be working. They
Wendy's.
regret. They
Working at
regret.
Wendy's.
They regret it. I mean, I bet you some of these old players will look back and say, "Man, I wish I would have went back and I would have finished my degree and blah blah blah," because they went through their money. Because these young kids are not old enough to deal with having a lot of money.
Nope.
So there's a lot of stories like LeBron. There's a lot of stories like Jabari. Cool.
There's way more stories.
But there's almost a bunch of there is also a bunch of Sebastian Telfairs. What's the kid's name?
Yeah,
with the
man,
Memphis?
Sebastian was right there.
What's the kid that went to Darius?
What?
That was one guy.
Darius
that was-
Washington?
Darius Miles.
Darius Miles. There's a bunch of stories like that.
that was a crazy story.
I'm just saying.
It happens. You know what I mean? It happens. Okay.
And one of
Go
those
ahead,
things,
go
as
ahead.
we mentioned earlier, that college kind of exposes you to is that it exposes you to being able to handle all that travel, because it's one of those issues where perhaps you may not necessarily be able to handle that, because traveling cross country from North Carolina all the way to Oregon is different from, say, traveling in the state from, say, Athens to Jonesboro.
Yep. No, you said it's a lot to adjust to. I understand. I'm with the JBA though. I'm with it. I'm all in. Next, DJ Academics versus, because I can't wait to get
Oh,
this.
yeah. That's how you go. Signing day.
Oh, so you want to do it early? Okay, Academics real quick. Can we do that?
You want the beef.
Okay, DJ Academics, the Hermit, all right, versus Desus, the God, all right, the Bronx God. Look, because I don't even know where to start, because I was going back and forth with a lot of my boys.
I'll start for you.
You
I'll
want to
start
start?
for you.
Because there's so much here. All right.
You have to respect a man
Okay.
that works for himself when you're answering to somebody else. You work for a corporation.
Okay.
DJ Academics works for DJ
Oh,
Academics.
wow.
I don't care
Are you
how
paid by
funny he
Academics?
is.
Okay. That's a young dude.
He owns his own thing.
He does.
And he's making probably as much as y'all are making.
Hey, what, as compared to Desus and Mero?
Right.
I think he's making, he's a DJ.
He's probably making
He's a
just as
DJ.
much. Oh, he don't DJ no more.
That's what I'm
That's just
saying.
his
Like,
name.
why?
That's
Okay,
just his name.
DJ Envy, that's like a DJ. These new DJs are a little bit different, but I get it. I mean, I've seen some clips of like Academics DJing parties, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, he used to DJ in college, so his name was DJ Academics. And then he started from his student, radio network or whatever. That's when he started the little rumor report. They kicked him off, and he started doing it on YouTube.
Okay.
That's how he became famous.
Well, here's my thing. All that crying he was doing the other day, did you see the crying,
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
tears?
saw it.
Here's my thing. If you're going to be a hip-hop culture, like, critique, and you're going to be talking on this and that, and then dudes come at you, it's just part of the game. I don't understand all these people, like, all these people being sorry, feeling sorry for Academics, and they're like, oh, come on, leave him alone. He's so he's not about beef. He's just, like, in his own lane. He always promoting, like, all the young dudes that's coming in. He's just, like, he doesn't.
All the littles.
Yeah, all the littles and all that, yeah. Like, he's just like, that's DJ Academics. I understand that. But, like, my man, if you're like with Charlemagne, I think he's along the same line. Is he not wanting to be a Charlemagne?
Yeah.
Of course, he wants to be. Everybody wants to be Charlemagne.
Everyone wants to be Charlemagne. So if you're going to be Charlemagne is always in beef with rappers, with other people who are doing the same thing.
With
as him.
other radio people?
Shout out Black Privilege. I gotta read that book.
Oh, yeah. I've heard mixed.
I don't see it in Target.
Yeah.
Like, every time what's up, Target? Every time I go in the book section, I don't see the book. That and Tiffany Haddish's memoir.
Shout out to her, man. She's having a year.
So support black businesses
Yes.
Yes.
and read black books.
Yes.
But don't support DJ Academics. Look, I'm just no. I don't know if you saw the beef. I don't listen, but these dudes are beefing right now.
Do it look like a bad boost?
Okay, yeah.
Do it look like a bad boost?
But
Huh?
I'm sweating in this thing.
Do it
Look,
look like a bad boost?
Man, I'm going to get to that a little bit later on.
okay, look. I don't know. I don't know whose side you choosing
Right.
when it comes to Desus.
I'm choosing Academic
Why is that?
because he's his own boss.
And Desus and Mero are working for Viceland.
Yes.
Who they turned down a deal with Complex though.
They
You know
did
that
4 years ago.
because they were and Complex messed up. You remember the show?
I saw the back-to-back. I saw.
No,
the
but you
back and
did you
forth.
watch them when they were on Complex?
No, I
Funny
didn't.
as hell.
Give me
They
a
let
little bit of the
them
backstory. I want to know what's going on.
No, it's just like beefing between, you got Desus and Mero from Bronx versus DJ Academics, and they're both like in the same realm of like they discuss cultural things, they talk about hip hop, they talk about blah blah blah, and the beef started because Academics and Vic Mensa said he didn't like the way Academics was talking about Chicago, the violence in Chicago. Vic Mensa's also, he's from Chicago, so he called him out on it. Then Vic Mensa went on Desus and Mero's show, and they asked him on the show, Desus asked him, why are you beefing with DJ Academics? And he said, F Academics, blah, blah, blah. That was the whole thing. They were laughing about it. Academics still like held that on. He was like, why y'all talking about me? I'm not on your show. Like, what's the problem here? So then that goes into Desus and Mero taking little shots at him. Academics came back and had some like Twitch thing the other day and took a shot at them. That's when it started again. It came back again the other day when Academics got on Twitch and was like talking about these dudes are talking about me and they don't even like they be hating on me, blah, blah, blah. And he was talking about them. Then Desus and Mero responded and they roasted him because that's what they do. If you're gonna go with Desus and Mero against them, you're gonna get roasted. Like that's what they're all about jokes. So it's easy to really see here. There's a difference between Jesus and Mero, their rise to fame was totally different from Academics. That's on the other reason thing. Okay, because Academics was a DJ, right? Like you said, and he had a page where he promotes all the social media stuff. Jesus and Mero are different. They're like two dudes came from the Bronx with like no money, and just are funny as hell. So like, in like looking at that, who do you think is going like people are going to choose mostly? Like who do you think the guys who came from nothing and get okay? So it's totally different things of like. What respect do you get? Jesus and Mero don't respect him because they feel like he got his claim to fame and he's like,
And why were they
where did
talking
it come
about
from?
him? He wasn't saying anything to them.
Well, there you go. Okay, so that's your point. That's fine.
That's
So he's agreeing with you. He's agreeing with you.
what academics
That's agreeing with you. Okay.
Like I'm not gonna take shots at somebody if I don't.
But Vic
If they're
Mensa.
not even relevant to me, why am I even like? That'd be like us talking about another podcast that we don't even know about because they weren't journalists, they were athletes instead.
We don't do that. But no.
That's what I'm saying. It's the same thing.
No,
though.
but look, the thing is, Vic Mensa was the reason why all this started. Your
Because of
boy
the
DJ
Chicago
Academics,
stuff.
because of Chicago stuff. DJ Academics has not addressed Vic Mensa at all because he's not going to. But he needs to understand, like, if you're now talking about, he's now in this whole like
He did.
battlefield.
He did.
What did he say about Vic Mensa?
On
Did
the
he
show.
He
On the
apologized.
show.
He apologized to him.
On the-
and Vic was still not happy. You remember
on
the
the-
show?
he wasn't.
Okay, because because
But
what
he
Academics
said-
said was
he
real
said-
dangerous though, right?
But
Talking about Chicago.
didn't he say like he was like you know I'm sorry you know I gotta check myself you know I just be talking trash I go on
See?
YouTube I talk trash
can't-
and,
see?
you know like I'm sorry like you know I ain't grow up in the hood so I don't really know and then that's all Vic was saying he was like you ain't grow up in the hood you some internet dude making fun of serious situations where young kids are dying in
This is
Chicago
serious, right?
and he said my bad I ain't know you know I just
But-
you know
but-
I don't be thinking when I just
But that's the
upload these
thing. You
videos.
just said. What did you just say? That's what I'm saying.
I don't know how you don't know
Look,
that.
but
That's
here's the
not
thing.
an
You just
excuse.
said the word.
Everybody knows
Rashad
about
just
that.
said the word internet dude. That's another reason why a lot of people don't respect DJ Academics because they just see him as an internet guy who just got in an age where people get popping like this. He's not getting that respect as anybody. Like, he's not going to get it. Like, a lot of people clown on DJ Academics, right? I know, Bill, you feel sorry for him. I'm like, no. Like you said, he's a hustler. Shout out to him. He does his thing. But when you come and step into this battlefield, it's totally different, bro. Like, you're a critic now.
I mean, he
So
got-
they were gonna critique you
He
now.
got the right to express his opinion without. I mean, I don't know.
He looks like a
I
guy.
could understand where the other guy's coming from as far as like, okay, well, you can't really speak on this because you haven't been here. But he
Those are
got
two
the-
dudes from the Bronx too. Remember that. Jesus and Mero are two dudes from the Bronx.
Okay.
Who are definitely siding with Vic probably on this. When they see a guy like DJ Academics, they're like, what the hell is this kid? He be on Twitch looking like he's in his mom's basement. That's what they always say.
I mean,
so it's like
I can see
he
their
looks like a
point.
guy's like, come on, man.
I
Like,
can see
why?
their point, but they came at him first for no reason.
They did.
So,
They did come at him.
I mean, he got the right to say what he want to say, and then he got the right to respond however he want to respond
He
to
got,
what
he
they
got the
say.
right to cry. Sorry, he started crying on
I
Twitch.
don't know about all that, but
Yeah, that's going a little bit too far with that.
That's
Yeah.
He lost a little bit edge there when he started crying.
Yeah,
His
yeah,
brother-
that
so
will
basically
lose
they
him.
he
called
did
him.
the Tyrese.
So basically, they called him soft, and then he
cried.
reacted soft.
He said, I don't know what he hate him.
I have no further comment.
See? Boom! Okay, all
Yeah.
right, so
12,000 a month. What more
What do you want from me? All right, that's what he did. Oh, like,
Man.
that's what DJ Academics
Going
did.
all in and getting all sentimental with it.
I just don't understand everybody feeling sorry for DJ Academics right now. That's my biggest thing. I'm seeing people like, yo, DJ Mero are whack for that. They whack for that. Like, leave him alone. Like, it's easy to pick on him. I'm like, bro, he's part of this whole thing now. Like, he is.
He
like,
wanted to be
he
part
wanted
of
to be
it, so
He
all
got
of a
on the
sudden-
show with Joe Budden where they talk about everybody's career. Wale had a
Yep.
beef with him. All these rappers had a beef with DJ Academics. He has to get used to that. Now he's getting upset because two guys who are pretty much doing the same job you do are talking. That makes no sense. Like, this is part of it.
Yeah, this is part of it. You
This
can't
is part of it. That's
You
all I'm
can't
saying,
be
man.
a
This is
critic
part of it, man.
and don't think you're not going to get anything back.
Yes. You want smoke? Do you want smoke? What's this? Okay. I'm hot, bro. Hey, y'all go ahead. Someone go ahead.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about it. Like, you know, and especially, you know, that's just part of the way the game works. Like,
Yes.
you know, like I was saying, that's just part of the way the
Podcast.
game
We're
works.
not like you said, we're gonna beef with other podcasts. And actually I would want to beef with another podcast. I kinda want
I'm beefing with the Joe Budden podcast.
No, Joe, we didn't say that. We didn't say that, Joe. We ain't trying to get shot.
I want to beef with
I ain't
another
trying to get shot
podcast.
by
I
no
kinda
podcast.
do though. I
Ice
want
trader
to beef.
gang.
Hey.
Ice trader gang. Hey.
I want to be for another podcast.
Speaking of which, I was just about to get.
The Atlanta podcast. What's up with y'all? Y'all seen that podcast? The Atlanta podcast. What's happening?
Because
y'all want to smoke? What's good?
I saw something
that
on
really-
Twitter the other day.
Is that really in Atlanta?
Look at this.
It's called the Atlanta podcast.
Look at this. This was on Siri the
Forget
other
the
day on
Atlanta
Twitter.
podcast,
Oh,
boys.
damn.
A-League over here. We run the city. We run the town. What's good with it? Pull up.
Bet y'all don't want hoop. I bet y'all want hoop. Bet y'all want hoop.
Oh man.
Look. All right. So it looks like Jeremy is on DJ academic side. Rashad, you're obviously on academic side.
I agree with both of them, honestly. Like, I mean, I at first I was on academic side because they started with him. Cool.
Because he looks so innocent, right?
Yeah,
he looks
right.
like, oh, come on.
But as far as like him talking about what's going on,
he's getting bullied like Keaton.
he don't know, he don't show what's really going on in the hood.
Yeah, there
So,
you go.
I
Don't
mean-
be. I see. Okay.
You ain't even tried it yet, Crip.
Just saying.
I'm
That's
still.
all I want to say on DJ Academics.
Yeah.
Let him get flamed into eternity.
Him and Button definitely need to relink.
That's
Because
dumb,
it's
dumb.
like,
That's
you know,
crazy. That's dumb.
he's talking about, you know, I hold my weight too. You know, I'm DJ Academics. People still gonna watch me. Look at them dislikes from the last week. That tells the whole story. So it's
Pretty
You
like,
said that last night, didn't you?
yeah.
125,000?
It's
God
crazy.
damn.
Yeah, it's crazy. But the thing is, it's like first take. You know, that works. Where one of them leaves, it still works because both of them are like, you know, high intense yellers, screamers.
Right.
On Everyday Struggle, there's a balance where DJ Academics is kind of like
Fire and ice.
more calm. Yeah, and Button is like, So when you get rid of the then it's like,
What are we here for? What are we doing here?
who's
Exactly.
another mad old rapper? I guess Pete Rock. As a producer, he might be good on the show, but Pete Rock's a little too old. Like Joe Budden.
Joe was right at good age.
Yeah. Joe Budden can still understand new people.
Exactly.
Like he's 2002. Pete Rock is like the 80s.
Yeah.
So
I don't even want to hear from all that. So no, but okay. The show's done. It's dead. And Jesus and Mero are gonna keep climbing. Bodega Boys.
Yeah. So like I was saying, Budden and Academics need to relink.
They need that. He needs. You think more for that? See, DJ Academics needs that more than Joe does.
When
He needs that
Academics-
way more.
when-
Joe don't need it because
Joe don't
he's
need
getting
it.
a lot of attention anyway because he's beefing with
could use
Migos.
it. Joe could use it.
He could use.
I mean, Joe.
But that meant,
like Joe said, like 2017. You could argue 2017 the biggest year of Joe Budden's career
Since 2002?
because he
Yeah. Love and hip hop years don't. That ain't help.
beefed
Yeah, that's
with
a
Drake.
wash.
Yeah.
He beefed with Drake.
Yep.
And that still didn't get that much attention. You know, Drake gave him a whole verse on like one of the more popular songs of the year.
He lost
And it's still
He lost it not because of his lyrics, because of because of who.
which is crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Joe
people didn't even really-
Joe Budden dropped 3 diss
nobody
songs.
cared.
Hard, nothing
don't
but
matter.
bars. It's like 5 minutes each, so like 15 minutes of nonstop bars, and everybody's like,
Yeah.
"Oh dang, Drake got him," because Drake said, "Pump,
Yeah.
pump it up."
Yeah.
Joe Budden will lose
That's so-
any beef he gets into nowadays.
Yeah.
Especially if you trying to beef with somebody like Drake or someone like Migos, you will automatically lose.
No.
You will automatically
Academics
lose.
told him he won.
What?
Academics was like, "Bro, you already." This is like, "Oh, this is last week's show before Complex kicked him
He
off."
lost both of them
But
beats.
Academics was
Both.
like, "Bro, you already won by just doing nothing and just joking on him. If you rap back,
Migos,
it's gonna-
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, if you rap back, it's gonna look corny and you gonna lose." And then Joe Budden was like, "Wow, so to win rap beef nowadays, that's crazy."
You know. You really ain't gotta say nothing.
It really had to do something because, you know, Nadeska, like, come on. I mean, I respect Nadeska as a journalist, her journalistic background. She went
brings
to school
absolutely
for
nothing.
it. She went to MTV, Complex for years. She grinded it out, interviewed, got it out the mud. Salute to Nadeska, but to the show,
It's hard to watch, right?
so
it's hard to watch. Okay,
you know,
so
and,
what's
then, and then she's still tied down to Complex, so she
Yeah.
can't leave and
Nope.
join that little thing. So just find a new woman, and I didn't mean to say it like that.
Nah, but we know what you meant.
you
New
know,
host.
You find a new host who's a woman.
Who's a woman,
You know,
yes.
for balance, and then you know you do your own thing.
I don't know who else in hip hop, like you said, could take over Joe's spot, but
Jim Jones would be great.
Jim. See, yeah. No, I was thinking Cameron.
Oh, Cam
Cameron,
Cam is funny. Cam is funny.
Killer can be in that spot.
Cam
You need
is
somebody
funny.
that brings that also
But
knows.
Jim Jones is like that too, because
Jim
remember he did the weather report during the
Oh.
Hurricane Irma. so Jim Jones is funny too.
Yeah.
2 Chainz is a funny dude.
2 Chainz is a funny dude.
Like once 2 Chainz music career is over, like he should do that. But 2 Chainz a little reserved too. He really reserves.
He might get hyped. Well, Academic says some stuff that might get you hyped. Joe was obviously, yeah. It'll work.
You know, when you're old, you know, you change. So like maybe as 2 Chainz gets even older, like he'll change into the more family friendly.
That dude knows how to.
Got
2
it.
Chainz knows how to like evolve every single year.
Right.
Shout out
Oh,
to him
yeah,
real
yeah,
quick.
definitely.
But that dude's like, oh, but you don't even think
People
he's
forget
old.
2 Chainz been in the game for a pretty good bit of time.
Yeah, man, Dungeon Family. That's crazy, man.
Does anybody want to see Terrence Howard as DJ from Hustle and Flow? Him try it for a
Man.
couple episodes?
Yeah, I would.
I would pay to see that.
See Terrence Howard start getting emotional.
Hey, Nadeska, man.
Hey, on my mind.
Hey man, you can't be on here talking crazy, man.
Terrence Howard always crying to all his shows, all his movies, bro.
Like,
Like, I hope he's okay. Like, people need to check on him.
he
Just call
gonna
him
cry.
once in a while.
He gonna cry. He cry every time he talk. Hey, man. I swear to God, gang, man. Hey, man.
I love Terrence, man.
Let's do the next topic, man.
I love Terrence,
I
man.
think Drake will
Man.
do one of these shows after his career.
Drake?
Yeah, but Everyday Struggle really started it. Salute to Everyday Struggle. Y'all trash for getting rid of Joe, but I mean,
They didn't want to pay him.
like y'all started this.
Yeah. All right.
It's just crazy because they were like on Academic Stream or like Joe Budden's podcast. He was saying how they were telling him how the other shows were more profitable. Like Out of Bounds was more profitable. I
Oh,
was like,
hell.
how is Out of Bounds?
Out of Bounds is an awful show. Yes.
That's the worst show
That
I've
is,
ever
that
seen
is.
in my
And I
life.
love Gilbert Arenas, but he's not
watched-
working on
I
camera.
watched one episode.
Yeah.
That was it.
Has anybody else watched Out of Bounds? Terrible show.
I couldn't take it serious after I saw who
Yeah.
was on it.
Okay.
No,
Oh, yeah.
right.
I'm good.
We know who you're talking
Yeah.
about. And I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Okay? I know who you're talking about. That's okay. Everybody gets, look, they're just throwing people on camera now. You know, that's everybody just getting thrown on for personality. I get it. But actually, like, legit, like, Joe actually deserved to be on camera.
Yeah,
Like, somebody needs to get him back on camera. That's
Yeah.
all. I would definitely.
He was a lot better than I expected him to be.
I agree.
Honestly, like he really, and then a lot of stuff he was saying, like he was just being honest. Like
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't knock somebody for being honest and having wisdom, you know.
The
Charlamagne-
fact that
seems
Mia
like
Khalifa is getting put on camera, that right there tells me everything I need to know about who they're going to give shows
They thought,
nowadays.
they thought we were gonna watch because of her. They really.
They probably did.
Hey,
They probably
I can't
did,
even
but
lie.
I'm not,
I
but,
watched
like-
the first episode because I wanted to see how it was gonna work and all that, but it was so bad, like there wasn't even potential in it because she didn't know
You did it
sports.
again. Yeah.
The host barely knew sports.
Yes.
So I'm like, how the host barely gonna? You're not even famous,
Right.
dude. If anyone gonna know sports, it's gonna be the host because
Host.
you're not famous.
That's
And then Gilbert Arenas made a joke about baseball and black people with the first show. I'm like, okay, you
Yeah.
know, that's all right, but like,
Gil's good on Instagram. He's not good on camera. I like Gil.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, but
Either
like
way.
that show is trash, bro. But
Yeah.
dang, I forgot what I was about to
It's
say.
all good. It don't matter.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about about Joe Budden and all them. Yeah, but all I was
Yeah.
saying, in the end, academics, this is not a good beat for you. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Just chill. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
Academics
Just chill.
put on
All right.
It's a bad matchup.
It's a bad matchup.
But you should
There
take
you
it. You should. It's a bad matchup.
Look,
I'm just gonna say that.
what we got? Early signing day.
Woohoo!
Okay. First of all, why the hell is it earlier now than it used to be? Can y'all explain about David and Jeremy? And y'all know this stuff.
Basically, it get a lot of players to get on campus earlier. But that's all. That's the only thing. I
When can they get on campus?
They can go to school in January. Now.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit. All right. How y'all-
It's interesting now that
Yeah.
you know they what you call it, mess these kids' egos up. There's already something on. In February, you got the TV show for them. Then you got
Yeah, TV show.
yeah, you got a TV show like to show like all the these kids on here talk about their commitments and stuff, and then now they're doing this in December, and it's just crazy because it's just like I remember just like playing high school and stuff. There's always someone better than you and stuff, and then this you a 5-star at your school, 4-star. But you joining a team with four and five of the all-star, 4 or 5 of the stars, and it's just like I just don't like it. Like I think basketball signing day, you don't see all that like
And 5 stars matter more in basketball to me.
like baseball.
Really?
Yeah, like you see these signings and stuff in the winter and stuff with these other sports. And they don't make it no big deal like that. But you would think it's February the way they was acting.
I mean, if
Yeah,
you
basketball signing day is totally different.
it's
vibe.
quiet
Yeah.
and then it matters more. If you think about it, the last 10 years, maybe 9 or 10 of those guys are in the NBA right now. Last 10 college football signing days, #1 prospect, maybe 3 are in the NFL right now. Maybe 3. It might not even be that.
That's why it doesn't. So it don't matter. Like
It really
you see
doesn't
these,
matter
like,
at
5 stars,
all.
you're like, okay, it doesn't
Josh,
matter.
okay, I watched the bowl game yesterday. Josh Allen had 0 stars, and he may be the best prospect for quarterback in this year's draft.
Say the name again.
Josh Allen from Wyoming.
Okay.
Had 0 stars, was not recruited at all.
Okay.
He had to beg somebody for a spot. Best pro prospect in the draft this year.
Wow. I just saw he declared. I saw that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, so that's what. Okay. So the star thing got a little bit overdone. I remember when I used to follow Sunny Day like close, like way back. I used to do, and then I just like stopped caring. But that was it. I used to get big on the Sunny Day. Like I remember Ryan Perilou when he came to LSU. That was like the biggest deal. Came. Like nothing. So then after that, I was like, all right, these star things don't really matter. Because we had Tyrann Mathieu who came. Tyrann Mathieu was like a 2-3 star. And ended up being our best defensive guy, bro. Like,
Steph Curry was a 2-star.
there he goes.
Top recruits in 2012: Mario Edwards, Dorial Green Beckham, Landon Collins.
Yeah.
Okay, we know that name.
Yeah, that was
Eric
fun. That was funny.
Armstead, DJ Humphries, Shaq Thompson.
DJ Humphrey.
Excuse me. Stephon Diggs was 10.
Okay.
TJ Yeldon was 13. That's pretty much it.
Damn.
Oh, Jonathan
So-
Gray. Jonathan Gray was 9. I mean, that's pretty much it.
It's a running back, right?
Damn. So to your point, it doesn't like most of this means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, and then just like recruiting and stuff. Like I think about it for the coaches. Like you got guys like Jeremy Pruitt and Jimbo Fisher. They just start their jobs and like they make this like the way they're hyping this stuff up and stuff. It's like you ain't got if you ain't get nobody now, you screwed.
Yeah, I saw somebody asking to fire Jeremy Pruitt because he didn't get Cade Mays. I was like, hold on. So what does a high school kid's decision to go to college have to do with Jeremy Pruitt coaching Tennessee football next year?
Doing too
So
much.
coaches are getting critiqued on even their recruiting, like to that, like their job's on the line for recruiting. Like,
That's how crazy it is nowadays.
Kirby Smart, I like Kirby Smart and I love what he's doing at Georgia, but I feel like he's already gotten a golden ticket because he did great in recruiting.
Yep.
Okay, if he goes and they get blown out in the Rose Bowl,
What's that?
I'm
mean?
not happy.
Yeah, what's that? You talking about as a recruit, you're not happy.
As a fan,
As a
I'm
fan,
not
you're
happy.
not happy. Okay.
As a booster, I'm not happy. And if I fire Mark Richt, something better happen more than the SEC championship because that's what we had already. We already won 2 of those.
This game right here, you're saying coming up is like
Yeah,
there's a lot.
this is gonna tell me more about
it's only
Kirby.
his second year.
I know it's only his second year, but that's what I'm saying. They're already saying, well, he'll be here the next 25 years.
Okay, yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, you gotta win
Calm
something
down.
first.
Calm down. You gotta
Gotta
win.
win.
You gotta win something more than the SEC.
He
for
wins
me.
this game and loses the national championship. Y'all cool with that, right?
We cool with that for this year, but next year.
second
But
year.
I'm letting you know right now. We brought Kirby Smart in to win
I
championship,
got you.
national
Okay,
championship,
okay.
not little cute SEC rings. No,
Jared be rocking the
that
10.
don't mean nothing.
No,
Mark
I mean,
Richt won that already.
I saw
The
something
guy
already.
said that would have been 1 and 2 in 2012. 55 and 56, Amari Cooper and Todd Gurley.
Oh, Mark Cooper. That boy can't catch nothing.
They're 56 and 55 and 56.
And think
so,
about
I
that
mean,
for a
that
second.
just shows you.
I'll say real quick, my bad. But I read up on something. Y'all stole like 2 recruits from Bama. So it is working. The Kirby effect is working. But y'all stealing people from Alabama.
It
That's
just,
top recruits.
It's just funny because like these people are leaning, like the way these fans are acting is like these guys are saviors. Like they all gonna be day 1 starters, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, these kids we just signed, we may not see them for 3 years. And people are like, I want Justin Fields out there next year. I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't Jake Fromm just win the SEC as a true freshman?
Still got Eason.
And then you still have Eason on the roster, who was the number 1 quarterback the year before last. So
But there's more pressure on.
relax.
There's more pressure on these like highly talented
R-E-L-E-X.
quarterbacks.
Relax, Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers.
Right?
It's not fair. It's not fair
Okay,
because
that's-
everybody. I mean, high school football and college football and the NFL are completely different games,
But it's
especially
easy-
for the quarterback.
But for quarterbacks going from, it's been more common recently. Not even recently, but like you've seen like freshman quarterbacks come in and actually make a pretty big impact coming in like their first year in college.
Not highly touted guys.
Not highly touted guys.
But like, okay, guys that run the spread. Like, say, I'm trying to think of an
Ohio
example.
State.
Who was at Ohio State?
Yeah, them three black guys. Yeah,
But they
JT.
weren't freshmen.
Oh, one of them was freshman.
No,
Was
JT
it-
Barrett
was
was a freshman, but I think he redshirted.
Oh,
So he's
Well, Manziel redshirt. I was gonna say Manziel. He
Manziel redshirted.
I was gonna say he came in and balled.
Okay, Jameis Winston
Winston
redshirted. He redshirted.
They're all like 20 years old.
Baker Mayfield's the last good example of a guy who started his freshman year, but he ran the spread. He ran the spread in college and went to Texas Tech as a walk-on and started.
Different.
That's different.
Different, yeah.
That's not
Different
him.
guy, different guy.
And that's not him having a bunch of pressure to come in and be the savior.
Yes.
So I can't think of a guy who's been said, "Oh, that's the savior," to come in and actually save the team.
So-
Maybe Tebow was the last one.
So then, what is y'all reaction? Okay, so then
Tebow
the two of y'all not hyping, but you're not hyping.
I mean,
about
Tebow
Auburn.
came in, he played a lot.
I mean, it's nice to get talent, but you expect that. And that's why I'm just like, it's like you expect that. Your SEC program, Big 12, you got to big coach, you're supposed to get that. But I just don't understand. It's like, why is it so much hype? Because it's just like, February is already something, and it's just like, now these kids got to rush their decisions because they're scared. Because these people like Saban, they do gray shirts, and now you got to rush your decision. You got to rush your decision, and then
So a lot of these kids felt like if they didn't do it now, they might not even be able to sign.
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not exactly sure about that because I just seen like decisions is being made, and it's like big guys, and usually you don't see that till like February, and now they're making that now. But yeah, I think that gray shirt, that possibly might be a thing. They might be scared, but now I wonder like high school football is going to get bad now because the players probably not going to play in the playoffs anymore.
I mean, and it's not just the big guys, like the big time 5-star who everybody wants. It's not just them. I covered a signing a couple days ago.